This is our financial tips from the Bible series, and we are looking at the topic today that says faithfulness with needs. Faithfulness with needs. The question is, have we been faithful with the needs God has given to you? Because the Bible says in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 19, it said, my God shall supply all your need. That's how New King James puts it, all your need. Maybe our grammar experts will help us to see why it is not needs. Why the Bible says need. New King James says need. So, faithfulness with need. The Bible says, he who is faithful in little, more will be committed. Don't expect more when you have not been faithful with that which God has given to you. Don't expect more when you have not been faithful with the needs God has supplied so far. And what are our needs? Our needs are what? They are basic necessities. Basic necessities. Basic requirements. Basic requirements for survival. That means what you need for survival. And what are these needs? Number one is what? Is food. Number two is clothing. Number three is housing. Number four is good health care. Health care, yes. Number five is transportation. Those are the things, basic things you need for survival. Anything after this is addendum. So the question is, God has given you all this. Even let me tell you something. The Bible says in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, if you read from verses, what we treated last week, which is practice contentment. The Bible says godliness with contentment is a great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, neither are we going to return with anything. Apostle Paul now said, he said, having food and raiment, let us therewith be content. Which means Apostle Paul only saw two things that a Christian must have for contentment, to be contented in life. Which is food and what? And clothing. Food and clothing. That's what the Bible specified. That's what Apostle Paul specified. Maybe the reason why he did not put housing is, he was a tent maker, and in those days they usually live in tents. So maybe that's why he did not see it as a need. But we know in this current day and time, in the 21st century, I understand you need good health care, you need transportation to move from one place to the other. So let's say these five are even our needs. The question is, if God has supplied you these five, what? Have you been faithful? Have you been thanking him for this? Because thanksgiving is the seed for more. When you want more of anything from God, you thank him for what he has done. And even after you have thanked him for what he has done, have you managed this well? Because it is when you have managed this well that God begins now to multiply you, to supply your wants. You remember the parable of the talents? In Matthew chapter 25 now. He said, he who has, he said, more will be given. He who has invested, he who was given 5, he multiplied it because of what? He understood the purpose of investment, the purpose of being faithful with little. He did not say, my master just gave me 2, just gave me 5, and he did nothing with it. And you remember that one that God only gave 1, that master gave 1. He went and did it instead of what? Appreciating it and investing it. So the question is, have you been faithful with the needs God has supplied to you? It is when you have been faithful in your needs, in God meeting your needs, that's when you can ask him for wants. Because what really improves the quality of our life is wants. There was a video we made during the week, it's still there, that says how to manage your money using the 50, 30, 20% rule. If you have not watched the video, you can go and watch it. Check our playlist, is there in our finance playlist. God delights in the prosperity of his children, of we, his children, according to Psalms 35 verse 27. He delights in our prosperity. So he wants us to have those things, those addendum. But the question is, it's only when you are faithful with the needs that God has given to you. So the question this morning is, have you been faithful with the needs God has supplied you? Have you thanked him For that little he has given to you, even though you see it as little. You remember in the case where Jesus wanted to feed 5,000 people, and he said to them, he said, what can we get so that we can feed these people? The Bible says they found a lad who had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And when they got it, they came with it to Jesus and they said, what is this among many? What can this do? But Jesus understood that it is when you give thanks to God that God will supply you more. And the Bible says he took it up and he gave thanks and he said, distribute it. When you thank God for that little, when you are faithful with your needs that God has met, because the truth is, God has given you one thing or the other. God has given each and every one of us. He has supplied our needs. In my mother tongue, they will say, there's nobody God has not provided for. It is only that it is in levels. It's only that it is in levels. And it is only someone who said, my own is not enough. And just like a man of God said, if you think enough, what you have is enough. If you think enough, what you have is enough. So when you think enough and you know that what you have is enough, you thank God for that, and you are also faithful. Because you know, when you are faithful with your needs, in managing your needs, then more will be committed to you. So that is just my little charge for you today. Faithfulness with needs. He said he will supply your needs according to his riches in glory. If you are here to subscribe to this channel, kindly do by clicking on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we release a new video. If you know anybody who has not been faithful with his or her needs, kindly share this video with them. It may help them. You never can tell. So we meet in our next video. Stay blessed.